So there are a lot of things that I love about the song Baba Yetu, and one of the things that struck me the most was Christopher Tin, the composer. He could have taken it a much different direction. For example, I mean, imagine being a musician and being commissioned to make this music for a Civilization game, right? I mean, there's so many ways you can interpret musically what Civilization means, what it means to build a civilization across the ages. So for example, say he would have done something like this instead. He could have done something more edgy and cool like this. Or a more close comparison is maybe the Sims games, you know, where you build cities. Kind of, not really, but, you know, it's a city. So there are so many ways he could have taken it, and in my interview with him, he reiterated how it was his first piece that he made for a video game, so he was given a lot of freedom. And what's cool about it, and part of the reason why I think it's so successful, is that it came from a really deep part of him. I mean, it took him an entire week to come up with those first several notes. So that means he tried for an entire week. I mean, you would think that it's not so hard to put, you know, those few notes together with those words, but it is, right? You tried different things, it just doesn't feel right, and then finally he comes to it. And what I love about his honest take is that Baba Yetu is such a hopeful sort of a feel. It's not, you know, civilization is evil, or so there's so many things you can do that are bad or manipulative, or, you know, more about the power and the wealth. It's more about the wonder and the beauty of building a civilization, of, you know, the history of mankind. And another thing that I loved about this piece were the types of instruments that were used, because, I mean, think of all the songs or pieces that you listen to that were made recently, and they most likely feature instruments or sounds that only existed in the past, say, 100 years. And Baba Yetu, for the most part, uses very basic instruments, very basic sounds, things that can easily be built and played with, and it gives a sense of being more grounded, I don't know, of being more real. And that's what I love about it. I feel like I'm right there as it's being played, and I'm listening to this choir singing right in front of me. And the last thing I wanted to mention was, I think a part of the reason also why it's so memorable is the fact that the words Baba Yetu are so easy to remember and so addictive when put with that melody. I mean, when you even just think of the word Baba, that's a very basic, like a baby could say it. It's very basic syllables. And so even just how our mouths move when we say it, Baba Yetu, is just a very fun, concise thing to say and to sing, frankly. And building off of the fact that, you know, even a baby could say it, it's such a lullaby type of a song. If we slow it down and did this is what it would sound like. Just the way those notes are placed one after the other, it has that lullaby sort of a feel, I think, inherent in it. Something that maybe even your mom could sing to you, right? And I think near the end of the song, when we get to this part, it really feels that way. So those are my thoughts on Baba Yetu, and if you want to see my interview with the composer Christopher Tin, check out the link in the description below. And if you want to help support the show and you like soundtrack reviews, please consider donating on Patreon, where for $1 per review you get access to an extra video, basically what didn't make it to the final cut, my unedited thoughts. So let me know what you think about my thoughts on Baba Yetu in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching Soundtrack Reviews, and I'll see you next time.